Cool evening, friends. I'm your host with the most fearsome frights. And today, we're going to be getting into the Halloween season with 10 horror-themed television commercials. Now, I know utilizing the medium of horror seems like an odd way to pitch a product, but a good scare has a way of leaving an impression on the viewer. Hell, you get deep down the marketing rabbit hole. Fear is one of the natural tools of it. Buy now, while supplies last. Urgency, fear. So, why not take the logical next step and do affectionate tongue-in-cheek parodies to generate a blend of nostalgia and excitement? Let's see how Coca-Cola did it in our number 10 spot. It's a nice touch where this 1992 commercial pays homage to the black and white universal vintage horror style dating back to the 1930s. Even in the middle of the commercial, they point out that disclaimer with the white text at the bottom. Where this commercial gets clever is when the woman is cornered by the Dracula knockoff and she produces the red Coke can. He sinks his fangs into the aluminium can, and the result is a scenic shift from dreary black and white to color, implying that Coke brings life to the party. It's a fun, memorable spot that doesn't take itself too seriously, and has a jingle at the end that I love to see Coca-Cola bring back into their advertising for modern audiences. In the number 9 spot, let's go for the usual wooden acting you'd see in an automobile advertisement, but with an interesting twist, and not of the Transylvanian variety either, with this 2020 hometown Kia Halloween commercial.
October is here, and now's not the time to be scared. Come out to Hometown Kia and get a killer deal on a new Kia now. Take a stab at huge rebates and discounts in a feature-packed Kia today.
Right now, get a new Kia Sportage all-wheel drive with $2,750 off in customer cash.
We're slashing prices all month long, so bring in that zombie dead running trade-in and let us help you get into a new Kia now.
Slashing prices with slasher horror icon Michael Myers? Why not? It's got puns. It's implied when Michael Myers isn't stalking teenage babysitters, he's slicing and dicing car dealers. Admittedly not as good as the Dracula spot in the Coca-Cola ad. But hey, I never claimed this list was ordered from worst to best, did I? I'll give it to them. Where they weren't trying to push gore in a commercial, the red filter, cheap and gimmicky as it is, was probably the safest way to go. Far from the worst car advertisement to watch. Still, I feel we could do more with Michael Myers. Like in the number 8 spot, Nike slasher commercial for the 2000 Olympics. I love this one. You got knockoff Michael Myers channeling some Texas Chainsaw Massacre with this skit, chasing after Olympic runner Susie Hamilton. Unfortunately, the moral guardians of the time expressed outrage over this commercial spot, citing it as repellent and misogynistic against women, which resulted in the advert being pulled. The ad agency that Nike employed indicated Susie Hamilton was meant to be the winner, not the victim. I honestly fail to see how anyone could have been offended by this. Then again, some of the reporting came across to me as iffy. For instance, in the CBS article pulled from the Associated Press, they described the attacker as wearing a hockey mask and misattributed him as an homage to Jason. Pretty sure that's Michael Myers. This is a hockey mask, this is a William Shatner mask, painted white. Big difference, but that's not the real takeaway here. Obviously, they were utilizing a well-known horror trope, the slasher genre, and they flipped it on its head where the killer was out of shape and the runner was fit and healthy. Goes with the whole live longer motif they're signaling. Still, it irked enough people to prompt thousands of critical phone calls and emails. Maybe I just don't get it, but I've never been so bored out of my mind where I felt the need to call or email a studio to gripe over an advertisement of all things. I could think of more relevant things to express outrage over. You know, alleged sweatshops stationed in Asia, 4,000 garment workers being owed a collective $2.2 million in unpaid legally owed wages and severance, allegedly dating back over 4 years. Those sorts of things. Anyway, long story short, the ad was pulled over the grumblings and discontent of the masses. So, taking that lesson with us, maybe the key to producing a horror commercial is to tone down the threatening imagery. Okay, Geico, take it away at number 7.
Let's hide in the attic.
No, in the basement. Why can't we just get in the running car?
Are you crazy? Let's hide behind the chainsaws.
Smart. Yeah, okay.
If you're in a horror movie, you make poor decisions. That's what you do.
This was a good idea. Shh, I'm being quiet. Breathing on me.
If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
The Good Choices advertisement debuted in 2014, and Geico has run this particular campaign multiple times over the years. The icing on the cake is the masked killer taking his mask off and rolling his eyes at the frightened group. This one is genuinely funny the first time or two you see it. Not my favorite of the bunch by any means, but it's an affectionate take on the horror trope that somehow didn't generate the buzz and negative reception as the Nike commercial in the previous spot. Not to dwell, but commercial A is purportedly misogynistic and commercial B is not? I guess having a diverse set of prospective victims being up on the chopping block makes all the difference. As long as the masked killer supports equal opportunity victimhood, got it. Let's break away from masked murderers and go back to classic monsters with number 6, Bic Pen's 1972 Frankenstein commercial.
Dear Bic, you're probably not going to believe this, but...
Strictly speaking, it's less Frankenstein and more so Frankenstein's monster, or the creature, but I digress. Anyway, the monster breaks out of the ice with a Bic pen and writes the company a correspondence. Clever way of implying the product makes for a sturdy, reliable pen. I wouldn't exactly recommend it for a chisel, but Frankenstein's monster might. Number 5 is the Budweiser Halloween commercial from 1990.
Okay, Harry, grab the bud and I think we're out of here.
Right.
I want to drink your bud.
Hi, I'm Harry. So am I.
Well, there you are.
You are not going to believe this.
This Halloween, replenish your Bud supply. Pick up Budweiser, Bud Light, and Bud Dry.
What's your bud type?
The puns are funny. This commercial is entertaining and offers us a hodgepodge of monsters. Gotta love the revolving door behind the Budweiser. It's punchy and doesn't take itself seriously at all. Starting to notice none of the vampire ads have sucked. I know. You can thank me later. Coming in at number 4, we have Doritos Monster in the Closet.
What?
Daddy, I'm scared.
You're not. You're fine. Now just go back to bed.
There's something in there.
There's nothing in there.
Yes, Yes, there is.
Okay, this is me checking the closet again. See? There's nothing in here. There's nothing in here.
You know what'll make you scream more than having an empty bag of Doritos? Knowing that Arch West, the creator of Doritos, had his ashes mixed in with a sprinkle of Doritos by his family in 2016 before they buried him in the dirt. I don't know what that has to do with this advertisement or the random snake lady in the closet, but back on topic with number 3, Snickers Halloween.
Hello, Mrs. Jensen. You don't have any Snickers in your shopping cart. The neighborhood kids love Snickers on Halloween. Let me help you. I'm only helping. Snickers.
We're definitely going to her house. Shh.
This Halloween, nothing satisfies like Snickers.
Glad to see Joan Rivers was still getting work around this time. Acceptable alternatives for this joke were Michael Jackson and Donatella Versace. Anyway, I think the look they were going for was supposed to be Leatherface a la Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. And that's the worst one of the series starring Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger. And no, their acting doesn't salvage that movie. Don't watch it, whatever you do. It's liquid poo captured on film, unlike this funny advertisement. This commercial occupies the right amount of uncanny valley and brings it in when you realize the figure is a costume being worn by 2 kids shilling Snickers, so they know the right house to visit. My favorite part is the random facial caress. The voice being done isn't too far off from Robin Williams' Mrs. Doubtfire. It's the hello! Anyway, it doesn't make me crave Snickers seeing that big old pile of nope standing in the middle of the candy aisle, but it is memorable. Alright, so we've had a good sampling of commercials. We've talked about classic horror. Let's go zombies.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
If you remember George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, you might recall the cemetery zombie. Bill Heinzman revived the character twice over the years. The first time was 1988's Flesh Eater, Revenge of the Living Dead. It's a cheesy B-movie. I recommend it, but that's not what we're looking at today. Instead, coming in at the number 2 spot is Goodfellas Brick Oven Pizza.
Goodfellas Brick Oven Pizza. A taste that'll have you coming back for more.
Admittedly, I have no clue when Bill Heinzman did this spot, but it's pure gold. Who says zombies have to just eat brains? If only they had pizza at Night of the Living Dead, the whole siege on the house at the climax of the movie might have gone differently. It's a delight to see this character revived one final time. Unfortunately, Heinzman passed away in February of 2012, so I'm afraid we won't be getting any more Halloween commercials from him. And now, for my favorite of the Halloween commercials. Number 1, Dirt Devil Exorcist. For a vacuum commercial, it sucks, but in the most hysterical way possible. It pays tribute to one of, if not arguably the best horror films of all time. Everything about this production is gold, whether it be from the lighting, the atmosphere, the music, and then the comedic tonal shift at the end. It's one hell of a way to sell a vacuum cleaner to people. Powerful enough to suck up girls possessed by Pazuzu onto the ceiling. The obliviousness of the older woman and the girl raging below is just the icing on the cake for me. All these elements make this particular commercial my favorite of the bunch. What was your favorite horror-themed commercial in this list? Is there one I didn't cover that tops these selections? Let me know in the comments section. Please like and subscribe for more horror content. And, as always, pleasant screams.